everyone, I'm Rachel with Miniaturists, and today I would like to show you how I made this vanity using a kit that came in the subscription box, but it also is available at miniaturists.com. So to get started, we're going to grab our kit, and some things you'll need for this project are an X-Acto knife, some glue. I like to use Wellbond, and a mixture of Wellbond and the Gorilla Glue, the super glue, together. You're going to need some toothpicks, and that should be maybe a cutting mat and some sandpaper. And that should be all you need to get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is grab my little kit, and I'm going to punch the pieces out if need be. So they are all held together, so we stop the laser so the pieces stay in the kit. You can just take an X-Acto knife or something sharp and just go around and notch out all those little spaces. And this is going to help you punch your pieces out. Okay, after you have all your pieces punched out, I just like to go ahead and sand the little corners where those little notches are. Just go ahead and sand them flat. So when you have laser cut pieces, sometimes they can get pretty dirty from the laser. So I do like to have baby wipes around, and I do like to wipe down all the pieces. Okay, so now I have all my pieces just lightly wiped down, and I'm going to take a piece of wax paper. And this is what I like to use to protect my surface. I'm going to go ahead and just put some wood glue. Again, I'm using Wellbond, and a little mixture of super glue, and we're going to mix that together. Okay, so to get started, I have my glue mixed, and we can start gluing our vanity together. So I'm just going to lay out all my pieces here so I can see what I have. So this is the top of the vanity, and then we have the sides. So for the sides, I'm going to take some glue, add it to the top here. This little notch right here will go into the back of the desk. Again, you don't want to get too much because you don't really want it to look messy and seep over the sides. Okay, so let's insert that. For the sides, you just kind of want to eyeball it right now and make sure that it's even with the sides. Having that little notch is going to help you because you're not going to be able to twist it too far. And then we'll repeat the process for the other side. If you get some that come over the sides, that's where I like just to take my wipe it off. So you can paint these pieces beforehand or after, it's totally up to you. I will say that sometimes when you get glue over the sides, sometimes when you go to paint or stain, you're going to see a coloration difference. So that's why I like to paint my pieces sometimes beforehand. All right, then next is this base. So that's where this long skinny one comes in, and it's going to fit between your legs. And you're going to want to make sure that they're flush, the sides are flush, and nothing is hanging over. So I'm going to take some glue and just put it here in this little notch. Why the combination of wood glue and super glue is the chemical reaction gives you more of an instant bond. I know there's nothing worse than waiting for glue to dry, so this is going to help with that process. Okay, so we're going to make sure that they're flush on the side. They're not hanging out. That way our legs will be straight. And then we can go ahead and just kind of push this to the side for right now and let that dry. Then we have these 3 little pieces. These are going to help the mirror stay in place. So we're going to glue these together. Putting glue in the middle, a little bit on the ends. Trying hard not to get glue inside of those little 2 holes because that's where the mirror is going to slide in. So this is very important. You want to make sure that these are lined up. These 2 are lined up perfectly. This is going to make our mirror really stable. So we're going to place that on there once it's dry, making sure that they line up, and then place this piece on last. This is what's going to stop the mirror from falling through. Okay, so let's move on to the mirror. This also came in your kit. And we're just going to dry run it. Make sure that the mirror fits inside the frame easily. If not, you can always trim the mirror a little or sand the insides of your frame. So it looks like mine fits in there pretty well. It's going to be snug, but if yours doesn't fit perfectly, again, sand the inside, or you can carefully cut the mirror with an X-Acto knife and a ruler. Okay, so now I know my mirror is going to fit in there. Let's go ahead and just add some glue. A thin piece of glue all the way around. Again, you don't want it to seep over the edges. And I'm going to glue it right onto my base, making sure that the sides are definitely flush on all sides. Okay, and then I can go ahead and glue in my mirror. You can either do this now, or I would maybe paint it first if you are going to paint. Otherwise, you're going to get paint on your mirror. There is a protective layer on this mirror though, so you could probably paint it and then take the protective, can't even get it off, the protective layer off. It's totally up to you. I think so. See, there it goes. So you can definitely peel it up later. I'm going to wait until I'm fully done, and then I will take that off. Okay, so slide my mirror in, make sure that it's, again, flush on all sides, and we'll set that aside. All right, so next we are going to work on our drawers. We have the outside of the drawers and the inside. And this one fell off. So the one here is for the outside of the drawers, and you can just tell because they're a little bigger than these. Okay, so let's work on the outside. They're gonna go together all the same. So once you got one down, they're all gonna go together the same way. So I'm gonna punch it out. Looks like this one wants to come out first. So how you have it here is how you want to glue it. So we are going to flip these up and glue them into place. Okay, so with a little bit of glue, I know that it's gonna go here. Again, your glue is going to set really, really fast. So I probably put way too much glue on there. So I'm going to put them together like a little puzzle, and I'm just going to hold them in place. I always say, man, I should have did my nails for this. video. But being crafty and always having your hands like messy and in pain, I don't know. I guess nails are an afterthought for me. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and do the next side. So I know that glue is going to come here, and glue is going to need to go here on this little thing. Pop that in place. And again, just hold it into place for, I don't know, maybe count to 10. And let it set. Okay, so when that has set, let's flip it up on end. Okay, so as you can see, I have it like this. Mine didn't set yet. I'm working too fast. We're going to go ahead and put this on top. We're just kind of making a little box for our drawer to fit in. So there it is, all done. Now we're just going to repeat the same process for all drawers. So there'll be 4 total. So you'll have 4 outsides and 4 inside. So I'm just going to continue now with all of the other drawers for the outside. Okay, so now I have all my outside shelves done. Now I'm going to focus on the inside. And they're going to go together. They're just a little smaller, but they're going to go together same as the other ones. And there'll be 4 of them, so let's get started. Okay, so now I have all the all the drawers ready. So we have the 2 bigger ones, the 2 littler ones, and then inside, so for example, this drawer will go inside of here. So they'll easily fit, so you can tell which one's the littler one and which one's the big one. So for these 2 little ones right here, this is going to go on top of the desk. These are the tops. So we'll go ahead and glue those right on top, making a little box. So this is an important step to make sure that you're putting it on straight, that they'll all be square, because we want our shelf to, or our drawer to easily fit right in there. So I'm gonna put that on top and then just make sure that it's square on all sides. And there will be a little overhang on the very front. That's for our when we put the front on our drawer, it's going to sit flush. So make sure it's, this back is square. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that same process to the other side and then let it fully dry. Okay, so next what we're going to do is put our drawer fronts onto our actual little drawers. So we'll go ahead and do this little one first. So I'm going to add glue to the front. So these little drawers actually sit on top of the desk. So we want to make sure that our fronts are square with the bottom. So this is going to be the littlest front. There's 2 sizes. This is the little one. We want to make sure that it sits flush with the bottom. Okay, so we're going to make sure it's flush there, and then making sure that it is centered, because you don't want your drawer off. So just like so. Okay, so go ahead and repeat that process for the other side, and we're gonna go ahead and let that drawer dry. Okay, so I have my 2 little drawers done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing for this, but for this one, you wanna make sure that it's flush with the top. And because it's going to go on the bottom of the desk, so the face, the front has to be flush with the top here. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue that on. So it's the opposite of what we just did for the little drawers. Okay, so I have it flush to the top, and then I also have it centered. Go ahead and let that dry. And do the other side. So while the drawers are drying, we can go ahead now and put the inserts in, the drawer inserts. So what we're going to do is put glue along the top. Again, try not to get glue on the outside because we don't want it to seep through. If you do get glue on the side, I just quickly wipe it off. Okay, so what we're going to do, remember this is the back because this is where the mirror goes. So we want the drawer opening to be to the front. Go ahead and slide that in, making sure again that it's flush with the very back. Push that in. And if you want more stability also, you can glue it to the leg. And I can show you how. I'll do that on this next one, just for some more stability. My glue's getting a little thick on me. Okay, so I know that the drawer is going to go like this, so I'm going to need glue right here for the leg. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that into place. Okay, and then I would let this dry just for a little bit, let the glue harden before flipping it over. All right, so I let my piece dry for a little bit, and what I'm going to do is flip it over now, and we are going to insert the drawers. Oops. So here it is. So far, it's looking like a really cute vanity. All right, so for the mirror, what you're going to do is you can glue this into place if you like, but this is just going to slide in the holes. And it is going to sit up. I designed it to have it sit up off the desk, just so. You can, like I said, go ahead and glue that into place if you'd like. Or if you feel like sometimes you want to take it off, you can just simply take the mirror off. It's however you want. All right, so these little boxes that we did, we are going to glue those right here. I am going to put mine really flush to the mirror. So I'm going to glue those in place. And making sure that I'm going to make mine flush with the back. I guess you don't really have to. I just feel like I like that look. And then repeat the process for the other side. I should probably switch out my glue here. It's getting really thick on me. But it's like I'm almost done. Okay, so there's that side. It's holding into place for a little bit. And now the only other thing you have to do is insert your little drawers. So you have this four at the top. Oops, wrong way. They should just slide right in. And there you go. And then this is for the top. How cute is this? I'm gonna set mine down because my drawers aren't fully dry yet. But there's our vanity. So I also wanted to point out, I did provide in the kit these little handles. You could go ahead and glue those on. If you don't like that look, you could have beads, anything like that. But they should just come open too without handles. Totally up to you. I think handles might make it look a little more finished, but I'll leave that up to you. All right, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching.